So the expected fall update has just been released last night. I personally love it and hate it at the same time. I agree with some nerfs and buffs while I disagree with others. So in this video, I'll be walking through everything that's been added, nerfed, and buffed in this update. But before I get right into this video, please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's start off with the newest reskins and weapons. Coming up number 1, the Spooky Staff. The Spooky Staff is a reskin of the Hosshog weapon. It costs 10k. While we're at the Hosshog, we might as well go over its nerf of self-burn. The new self-burn nerf will only occur once the user rocket jumps. A rocket jump with the Hosshog will result in a loss of 10 health plus a burn of 9 to 10 damage, overall losing a health of 19 to 20 health. I personally completely disagree with this nerf, as many non-lunge sword user mains, such as myself, use this weapon to get from point A to point B very fast. This makes it very close to lunge's mobility. Overall, nerfing this weapon means nerfing all non-lunge sword weapons' mobility. Many players will have to switch to a different rocket. This item is also a limited time only item. Moving on to the next weapon, the Glowblade. This weapon costs 25k and is limited time only. This blade is also a reskin of the default sword, same damage, lunge damage, basically everything's the same as the default sword. Let's move on to the expected weapon, the bow. The bow was talked about in our fall update leak video. As we could tell, the reload time would be 3 seconds, and we were right guys, it works somewhat similar to the shuriken. For example, when not charged, it'll hit 25 damage, and when charged, it'll hit 50 damage. Unfortunately, since its high reload time and low damage, shuriken still may be better. I'll actually be making an entire weapon comparison between the bow and shuriken in my next video. The arrows also cannot deliver a stun and only can break a window if charged. The new Pumpkin Super Ball is a reskin of the default Super Ball skin. The Pumpkin skin acts exactly like the default Super Ball, same damage, speed, and etc. Next up, we got the Lava Ball. The Lava Ball is the polar opposite of the Snowball, though instead of freezing the enemy, it'll set the enemy on fire. There's also one more reskin of the Lava Ball called the Jack-o'-lantern. Alright, that covers up all the new weapons. Our final new weapon is a greatsword reskin called the Candy Claymore. This item is also a limited time only. Oh yes, there's also this new map in Infection, and the jungle map, both Dark Jungle and Jungle have new music. The new map's very large, making it much easier to camp for survivors, and stalling shouldn't be a problem anymore. I'll explain this later in the video. A new feature is also added for zombies, and that is upon every kill, the zombie gets a new max HP, and their max HP will increase by 5 health. Overall, this makes zombies super OP when there are only 1 to 2 survivors left. I feel like they may add a cap to this or nerf the increased HP upon survivor KO. This is because if there's a crowd of zombies that have like 3 kills each, the survivors are in for some big trouble. They also removed the ability to build under the overhangs in Dark Jungle. Also, they modified the Dark Jungle map a bit. And of course, let's not forget the new trampolines which were added, and when a survivor steps on them, they'll get ragdolled for 5 seconds and take a total of 10 damage. Alright, that covers all of the new weapons, but now for the nerfs that I'm going to criticize on. Alright, probably the saddest nerf for me is the remote detonator's nerf. The remote's arm time, also known as the charge time, has been nerfed from 0.4 seconds to 0.5 seconds, though for some reason it feels much more than that. We'll now have to readapt to mid-air bomb jumps, kills, and basically everything else we do with remotes. The knockback of the remote bomb has also been completely taken away. I like to use this in sudden deaths when it's a big crowd or a team and I'm the only survivor left. It just basically sends players flying away. This is why people wanted this to get nerfed. You may also take this removed knockback as a buff, because like in your eyes, your enemy can no longer fly away in a 1v1, meaning they're in range to be comboed by a shadow blade, lunge, or a charged bow, or a shuriken, and etc. There has also been a cap to 5 remote bombs at once for a player. To be honest, I don't really see the use of this because nobody really stacks 5 remotes. At max, someone stacks maybe 2 or 3. The next nerf we have is the Shadow Shuriken charged reload time. When the Shuriken isn't charged, the reload time stays the same, which is 1.4 seconds. But when charged, it's almost double, which is 2.8 seconds. I really feel this is unfair, and this exact nerf should be implemented to the Coconut, as Shuriken and Coconut are the polar opposites of each other. The next nerf we've got coming up is the Star Blaster's Super Bowl, slingshot, paintball, and any other weapon that has a arc to it. It's all been given gravity effect, meaning the arc will be smaller, meaning they'll fall down more quicker. The Dark Heart's lifesteal has also been nerfed, as it gives smaller HP upon slash and more HP upon lunge. Its reload time for lunge has also been nerfed to 4 seconds. The Voxcalibur's lunge damage and distance has also been both nerfed. Trampoline's reload time was nerfed. I'm not 100% sure what the previous cooldown was, but right now it's 6 seconds. Bloomerang was also nerfed by reload time. Again, not 100% sure what its previous reload time was, but now its time is 6 seconds. Basically, all stalling weapons have been nerfed, making it very hard or near to impossible to stall, and Airvox is basically not even a viable loadout anymore. Shadow Dragon's rocket jump nerfed to stock. I personally hate this because the entire point of the Shadow set is a great perks, but it comes with a disadvantage of reload time. Though now the default rocket may just be better than the Shadow Dragon. The final nerf that I found was the Shadow Clone's nerf. Now, there's this nerf and sort of buff, I guess you could say. The nerf consists of a break of like 0.4 seconds when pulled out, overall making void saves much harder, and of course stalling a little bit more harder. The breaks needed for Shadow Clone is now 5, previously it was 15. Also, new features added: if the Shadow Clone and the clone itself, is attacked using a sword, the clone will explode, dealing the exact same damage attacked to the clone to the attacker. The knockback of the power cord ability was slightly nerfed. Paintball now has 0.1 more seconds of reload time. What's the point of even nerfing it? Now, I have only found a few buffs so far. Greatsword's walk speed debuff went up from negative 25% to negative 20%. It also has a 25% resistance to ragdoll now. Scope Shot's blast radius has also been buffed by 10%, possibly making it a new meta. Mega Smack, the special moves on Ice Sword, Fire Sword, and of course Tennis Racket have all been buffed reload wise. There's also a few misc changes that I'll go over right now. There's also this new feature of being able to deal damage to each other when both people are using special moves at once. Before, when one person would lunge and another person would lunge back, or great spin, the person who lunged or great spin second, their move would not inflict any damage to the other enemy. But now, whatever this bug or glitch is, it's been patched. Another new feature is upon bomb jump or rocket jump, you get this cool trail behind you. The lobby has a new color scheme, and now we actually get to see our exact amount of health. There's also this new feature of anti-jump, which only occurs if you spam jump too much. In the Spire game modes, whichever team has the most spawns when time runs out wins the game. But wait, what about sudden death? Spire modes have also been reduced to 7 mins, before it was 10 minutes. They added a bunch of new tower generation features. Sudden death also has new markers, and for some reason they nerfed the time for healing to kick in by 3 more seconds. I think it was previously fine, to be honest. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing for more epic content. Bye for now guys, see ya!